Good morning. Well, it's morning for me. It could be any time for you, but it's morning for me, and I'm sitting somewhere quite lovely with a little bit of morning sun coming through the window. And I've gotten myself a coffee from my favourite place, Telegram, here in Perth. If you ever come to Perth, make sure you check it out. And I'd like to take you through one of my favourite practices that allows me to take 5 minutes in my day, and I use five senses. So I use my five senses, which I always have with me, and I like to use a coffee or a tea, quite like a chai, that has a lovely smell. If you're not into hot beverages, there might be something else that you like to sip, to taste, to smell. You could even substitute food for this one. But I'm doing it with my lovely morning flat white from Telegram. And it goes like this. It goes like this. I'm actually sitting somewhere there is a little bit of noise, so I hope that's not distracting. But it really actually reminds us that so many times of the day we will be somewhere where there is noise or distraction. But we do have the opportunity to create a little bit of space for ourselves. So if you're hearing any background noise from me, I apologize, but I am in the real world. Mhm. I am somewhere though where I can close my eyes, and I'm going to do that as we go through the exercise. You don't have to. You could just look at something around you that's nice to look at. You could look downwards, up to you. But I like to close my eyes. So I get myself ready. I get myself ready by sitting somewhere where I'm very comfortable, and I have my beverage ready to go, and I close my eyes. Mm. And closing my eyes and taking a beautiful deep breath, I really just settle into the place. I'm seated, so I'm feeling the weight of my body through the backs of my legs to the chair, and I'm feeling the connection of my feet to the ground. You might be standing, you could be seated on the floor. Wherever you are, just take a moment to take a deep breath and to feel that connection, and maybe start then with our first sense of feel. And I ask myself a question: what do I feel? I'm noticing the pressing of my body, the weight of my body into the chair. I've got trousers on, so I'm not really noticing the contact of skin to the chair, but you might, and you might have a hand touching the chair. My chair's leather, and so I can just feel my hand touching the chair. And I'm also feeling, of course, this cup of coffee. The warmth, it's not too hot, it's not uncomfortable, but the warmth of the coffee through the container into my hands. And if I let the moment really settle and ask myself that question again, what can you feel? Well, I can feel my clothes on my body. I can also feel these headphones in my ear. I'm not outside, I'm not feeling the sun or the wind, but if you are, that's a lovely thing to really notice. You might even be noticing if you're hot or cold or hungry or tired. But really just at this first time, using your sense of feeling. What do I feel? Feeling into, in particular, what you're holding. What can I hear? It's actually a really interesting question. First of all, you think, what do you mean? What can I hear? I can't really hear very much at all. Um, but just wait. I can hear some background music. I'm not sure if it's getting picked up on the recording, but that's what I can hear. And it's quite lovely actually. So I can be grateful that there's some lovely music playing near me. Um, I can actually hear some air conditioning. Hmm. I'm removed from the street. I can't hear cars or people or bikes. But maybe where you are, you can. You might be, if you're outside, you might be hearing some lovely sounds of nature. Can you? Can you hear birds or wind? Or are you around other people? Can you hear people talking, laughing? What can you hear? Mm. So there we go. I'm going to take the lid off my cup and ask myself a question, what can I smell? And that's just an opportunity to really enjoy the smell of the beverage before you start gulping it. I don't know about you, but sometimes I can drink even a really lovely coffee from my favorite takeaway place. And I drink it quickly because I've got a lot going on. I might be a bit stressed. I might be in a hurry. And I could think to myself afterwards, gosh, did I smell that? Hmm. So as we do it as part of an exercise, you could say to yourself, what do I smell? And honestly, this smells great. Hmm. But you know, you could be somewhere else and you might be smelling other things. Are you at a cafe and there's some lovely bakery smells? Are you sitting somewhere where it's a lovely scent wafting nearby? Or again, are you out and about? Maybe you're in a park or in your garden. Maybe you can smell something quite lovely nearby. No, it even could be a negative smell. Not everything's beautiful, but we can notice. What can I smell? Right, moving along. What can I taste? Okay, having a lovely sip. My coffee's not that hot, which is nice. Mm. And if I just take a sip, well, that one I actually swallowed quite quickly so I could keep talking. But if you take a sip and really just hold it in your mouth for a little while, all kinds of taste sensations come up. It's actually true. Our tongue is a marvelous thing. And if we don't gulp our coffee or other drink or food, we actually go to taste it. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to just take a sip and I'm going to really taste it. Here we go. Mm. And you almost feel like it's the whole of your mouth tasting. And I like a flat white, so there's a milkiness to my coffee. Oh, don't tell anyone, but I also have a sweetener. I must stop that one day. So I also have a lovely sweetness. It's milky, it's sweet, it's exactly how I like it, right? We've all got our own preferences when it comes to coffee. So maybe just one more while we're here. And what can I taste? And I don't know, you might be tasting other things. It might be before you have that first sip of coffee, you might be tasting toothpaste or some kind of mouth freshener. You might have just sort of uh, gotten ready for the day and brushed your teeth. Or maybe you're tasting something, maybe you've eaten your lunch or a snack, and that this taste of that's still in your mouth. We ask the question and then we stop and we pause and we notice and we let our senses do the work. Now, I've been talking to you with my eyes closed, which I've got to say feels rather awkward. So now's the time for me to open up my eyes, yeah, and come to my fifth sense. What can I see? So let's do that. If you've had your eyes closed, you can open them up now as well. Or if you've been looking downwards while we've been doing the exercise, it's good to sort of then say, okay, right, I'm going to open my eyes. What can I see? Um, so I am sitting somewhere quite lovely. There's a painting up there behind me. Well, I could look around and have a look at it, but maybe I'll have a bit more of a look at it later. I love, love, love. I love the pink of this cup, you know, and I think the logo and everything about it's just pretty on point. So I even love looking at my coffee cup, but you might have your own favorite coffee cup, particularly, you know, if you're doing a reusable and good for you. You might be going to a coffee place that has quite stunning artwork on their takeaway cups. I always love those ones. And then just have a look around. I can see there's a few pieces of art where I'm sitting. There's a really lovely couch. There's some really inviting cushions that they've been chopped just right. You know how some people get the chopping just right? Those ones have been chopped just right. And from where I am, I can look out a window and see sunlight, which is always something that makes me uh, feel like a little bit happier, 10% happier, right? Gives me a little 10% boost in my day. And I've taken a few minutes. I'm not sure how long that was. I'll check the timing of it later. But in the overall scheme of things, it wasn't a huge amount of time in my day. And I haven't chugged my coffee. I've really enjoyed it. And I'm feeling focused and rested. I have actually got a ton of things that I need to do now and for the rest of the day. And I know that taking this time to do this exercise helps me focus more, helps me concentrate more, allows me to be less distracted. And as I like to think, maybe not hitting any major benchmarks, not doubling my productivity, but I think I will be 10% better. And if you've gone through that exercise with me, I'm hoping you're feeling the same. So good luck and enjoy your day.